Hey everyone, Kennedy Morgan, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's like June and Port of Arthur's weather just shifted. It started getting warmer. It rained really heavily for the first time last night with like thunder and lightning and just heavy showers. It was really cool and I really liked it a lot. I like that sort of dramatic rain. But it's so humid and muggy right now and I'm just trying to stay dry and trying to stay cool as much as possible, hence this knitted muscle shirt. So anyways, I wanted to maybe talk about a little lighter topic this time around, something a little bit more fun, and I thought about maybe bringing up the topic of what it's like to date a medium. Now, I personally have not dated a medium before. I've dated people who were really highly intuitive and maybe even psychic at some level, but I've never really dated anybody that was a medium. Although I can probably guess that most people would maybe shy away from that only because they might have this idea that I'm going to know their secrets or, know their hidden agendas or whatever that may be. I don't know, right? So I have this story about when I was 25, I was dating somebody from out of the country. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I was dating from somebody out of the country. And for the time that he was visiting Los Angeles, we saw a lot of each other and did a lot together. And then when he went back to his country, we would continue this kind of long distance relationship, talk to each other every single day. And it got pretty intense there, even though it was long distance. And I remember one night, after having a conversation with this guy that I was dating, I was falling asleep, and I had this dream, or what I thought was a dream, not knowing what it was at the time. And I felt myself floating, and then I woke up. And as I woke up, I was still in this dream. And I felt like my body or my consciousness was floating just in this room. I thought it was my room, but as I looked around, I realized that it wasn't my room, although the layout was very similar, okay? The only difference was that the entry door to my real room was on my right-hand side, and this door in this quote-unquote dream that I was having was on my left-hand side, and I could see like the chest of drawers. I saw the details of the knobs to like the edging or the engraving around the finishing of the furniture, the chest of drawers. And I even at one point turned to look at the bed, and I saw the texture, the design of the fabric on the bed. And beyond that, there was a window behind the bed, and I could see past the window, which was like the parking area that was in front of the bedroom. And that led out to like the street and of course the front yard. I went back to bed. I remember falling back to sleep that night, and then woke up the next day thinking, that was a very weird dream. Didn't know where that came from, but okay, whatever. And then that night I spoke to this guy that I was dating. And as we were having this conversation, something, I don't know what it was. And this is the thing, right, with me, is I don't know what it was, but, and I had no idea where it was coming from, but I had this sense or this urge to talk to him about it. And I thought, no, I'm not gonna do that because he's gonna think I'm crazy. And I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy, right? So, but I ended up asking him about or talking to him about this dream that I had. And as I was talking to him, I was describing to him what I saw in this dream, describing every little details of the room. After I finished, there was complete silence on the other end of the line. And I thought maybe we had become disconnected. So I said, "Are you still there?" And he's like, "Yes." And I said, "Is everything okay?" He's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay. It doesn't sound like everything's okay because I feel like, something just happened here. You just clammed up and I'm not quite sure. Did I say something wrong?" He's like, "No, you didn't say anything wrong." I said, "Okay, so do you want to talk about it?" He said, "Well, honestly, you just kind of sort of creeped me out and freaked me out." I'm like, "Why? What happened?" He's like, "Well, you just described every little detail of my room." And I thought to myself, what? I couldn't believe it myself, and I didn't. I was freaked out, and I was kind of shocked, and I was like, what? And And I said, okay. The conversation was very awkward after that. I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. We ended up, ending the phone call. But funny enough, I never heard from him again. I am going to assume that I probably did freak him out, and maybe that was enough for him to say, nah, I don't want to be a part of that. So through that example and a couple of other examples as well, I can see why, if someone were to date me, that they would probably be freaked out about some of the things that I do or my abilities, or that they may think that I can, see into their deepest, darkest secrets, or read their minds, or, look into their, hidden agendas or something like that. But that's just not who I am. That's not my nature, and I'm not built that way. As a matter of fact, I think contrary to most people, when I meet somebody and there is a connection there that leads into something more, I end up giving a level of trust. And I know that for most people, trust is earned, but for me, I give that level of trust and then see what they do with it. And as the bond grows, the trust grows, and I give more trust to that person. So that's kind of sort of my MO when I get into a relationship. Now, I think that, when people find, this is why when I start dating somebody, I never really tell them I'm a medium, because I don't want to start the relationship off with, okay, he's weird, but I just want them to see me as who I am, Kennedy Morgan. I'm just a person, just like everybody else, trying to, live life and navigate through all the issues and complexities and all the goodness and all the greatness and all this, celebratory aspects of life as well. I'm just like everybody else, just trying to, live my life and do my thing, and hopefully I'm living my life to the highest and greatest good for myself as well as for the people around me. So I always hesitate about, when people ask me, what do you do, Kennedy? I always say, well, I work with clients online, or I have clients, or I see clients and I work with clients, and, I'm a contractor, basically. That's kind of sort. So technically it's not a lie, but I want to kind of sort of soften the blow just a little bit. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, why not just say who you are and be proud of who you are? Don't get me wrong. Being a medium is the best thing that if this ability just disappeared tomorrow, I don't know what I would do, because it's who I am. It's what I identify with. In the way that I want to connect with people at a romantic level, or at, getting into a relationship or even dating, I want to make sure that they see me for who I am first. And then I'll slowly kind of sort of give a little bit of who and let that kind of sort of unfold in terms of who I am and what I do and what I'm all about and my perspective on life and things like that. And then as that unfolds and I see that they're accepting of it, or they trust it, or they honor it, or they respect it, then I'll give more of that. Most people think that just because I'm a medium, everything is about spirituality, everything is about, mediumship, everything's about psychic, that I'm playing with tarot cards, I'm looking at crystal balls, I'm, working with Ouija boards or whatever it may be. I honestly do very little of that stuff. Only when it's something specific, an activity that's something specific, like maybe in my workshop, or maybe there's an event that I would use some of these tools to help me focus or connect, that I would use those things. But other than that, I actually work very hard to shy away or steer clear of the cliche perspective that I think most people have of mediums, which is somebody who's got, this place in their basement with velvet curtains and a table, and it's dark and it's candlelit and there's, chicken bones everywhere or whatever. I don't know what that means, but I'm not like that at all. As a matter of fact, most of you, I think, if you see me ever walking down the street, you would never know that I'm a medium or that I'm a psychic medium. You would never know that I do this work, because I just don't portray that. But the minute that you see me doing it, that's when people change their opinions or change their perspective about who I am. But it's not all of who I am. It's just an aspect of who I am. Just like being gay is an aspect of somebody, right? It's not who they are. It's not all of who they are. It's just a small aspect. They've got other interests. They've got other priorities. They've got other aspects of their lives that are just as great and just as amazing and just as interesting, right? So, and we're all that way. We all have those aspects of our lives that make us interesting as people. We're not just, stuck into one particular thing. So I think that, when I start dating somebody, when I start dating, I'm going to say when, because I am manifesting that this year. When I start dating somebody again, I want it to be somebody who's going to be able to accept who I am, what I'm all about, and vice versa. I want to be able to, when the two of us get together, and I like this, some wise woman told me this, a relationship is about two people getting together, and as they come together, the world is better. And I love that because it's so true, right? When you meet somebody who just deep down inside that you should be with, and when you're with them, the world is better. The two of you collaboratively make the world better because of the energy that you exude by the bond that you have. And I think that's really important. So for those of you who are single, and those of you who may feel like, when am I going to find a partner? When am I going to find somebody? Don't put so much pressure on yourself to do that, because things will happen in the time frame that they're supposed to happen. And I always say this is, if you know me, you'll always hear this from me. Everything happens for a reason, okay? There is no coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. And when you meet that person, whether it be through serendipity or whether it be through, quote unquote accident, which is not an accident really, right? Because it's meant to be for a reason. You're gonna know. And it may take you some years. It may take you some time. It may take you, to a couple of tries to find that person that's meant for you. But when the two of you are together, you make the world better, or the world becomes better, okay? And when that happens, it's gonna be an amazing thing. But here's the thing, you gotta be open to it. Because if you're closed to it, it's never gonna happen, right? Because that's what you're resonating. That's the energy that you're resonating. So if you wanna be with somebody, or you wanna have a partner, or you wanna have a romantic relationship, whether it be short-term, long-term, it doesn't really matter, right? There's no judgment here. Then you've gotta be open to that, and you've gotta resonate that. You've got to want it. And it's not about needing, right? Needing somebody to be there with you is a different thing from wanting somebody to be there with you. Because as you're needing somebody, you're coming from a place of lack, which means that you need them in order to make you happy. And there's a codependency there, okay? It's I need you to need me, okay? But when you want somebody because you're already happy and you're already centered and grounded in where you are in your life, and then you move forward with that, and you allow and be open to that quote unquote love energy or the romantic energy to step into your energy or to step into your active energy, then you're going to be presented with opportunities to meet people and to have people around you that could be potential partners. So keep that in mind. And don't come from a place of lack or need, but come from a place of want. Do as you do and do what you do and move forward with that. And if it's the right person, they're going to stand with you and they're going to come along with you, and you're going to go along with them for the ride. And it's going to be a beautiful ride for you. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed that little talk. Just know that in the next couple weeks here, I'm going to have meditations every single week. I'm also going to have a demonstration, a public demonstration. It's going to be on Zoom. It's July 3rd. It's from 7 to 9 p.m. I believe it is. But you can go to my website, www.kennedymorgan.com. That's www.kennedymorgan.com to buy your tickets there. Once you buy your tickets, you'll get an email, confirmation email with the Zoom link on it, in which on July 3rd you can access the link, and that will take you to the actual event. It's going to be a special event. Part of the proceeds will be going to the Vallarta Food Bank, which they've been really active during the pandemic period here in Puerto Vallarta. I'm really impressed with them, and they've just been servicing the local communities, the local families here who've been impacted by the stay-at-home and lockdown and all that, ordinance. And the businesses that are closed, the locals here rely on that in order to, help them make a living. And because they're not able to work, they're not able to make that living, not able to pay the rent, not able to buy food, things like that. So it's really important for me to help out the food bank to kind of sort of give back to the community. So I'm asking you to please help me with that. That would be amazing. And I would love you all forever. Of course, I love you all anyways, right? So, hey. Anyways, thank you so much. Please stay safe. Use common sense in everything you do in order to stay safe and stay happy. Remember to love each other, to extend more understanding, more compassion, and try not to shame other people for maybe not doing what you expect them to do or not doing what the society expects them to do. Rather, maybe approach it from a more educational standpoint and then look at it that way. And hopefully get them on board too in terms of like protecting themselves as well as protecting you. So, anyways, that's it for me today. I will see you next time. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.